Okay, I'm back here with part 2 of looking at my Sonic collection and some other stuff. And like I said, I was just going through the pictures that I had here. And again, to reiterate or repeat what I said in part 1, I used to have a lot of these hung up on my walls when I lived on my own in Kansas. In fact, my whole bedroom walls were just tacked full of all these pictures, and some of them I actually did frame and hang up in my living room. But as you can see, I can't really do that now here. I mean, I could, but like I said, what would my family think? So, yeah. But like I said, when somebody hangs up another person's artwork, it's basically acknowledging the fact that they like the artwork, and I do. Some of these people that did these artworks did a great job, and that's why I hung them up. You know, again, like I said, that's why I hung them up, so people could see them, even though people might think otherwise. Like this picture, this is actually one of them I had hanging up. This one and this one here I actually had framed, believe it or not. I actually had some of these framed. This one I think was the one I had framed. So yeah, a lot of these, this one I believe I had framed too. A lot of these I did have framed. This one I think I had framed, or I framed myself, and I hung them up in my room, and not in my room, but in my living room. And I know, again, some people might say that's a little retarded. This one I had framed, but you know what? You know, that's how much of a fan I was. And again, I know, again, like I said, I had that one framed, but I know I may not be able to do that anymore. And those are just a majority of the pictures I have in that album. Then over here, in this album, of course, we have just about the same thing, just a lot of pictures from over the years that I printed. Now, I know my family, if they watch this video, they're going to think, oh my God, what was he thinking? Well, again, like I said, I lived on my own. It was my life, you know, so I did what I wanted to. You know, again, like I said, I can't really do it to these walls. Although I added a few posters, like you can see I added that, and I added that, and that right there, and this over here, that small thing, and then of course that poster, but that's all I added. And again, like I said, if I was to do this to my walls here, like I did in my apartments, my family would think I was losing my mind. So, but again, yeah, I had a lot of these tacked up in my room. Some of them I actually had framed. Like this one, I had a copy of it framed, like I mentioned. This one, of course, was tacked up in my room, and you kind of can tell that the sun got to it a little bit because it's kind of faded. So, but yeah, I had that tacked up in my room. Actually, this is the one the sun got to the most, so. And like you see, as you can see, I have black and white versions as well. And this is, like I said before, I was able to do the coloring of it, or get a color. This is before I bought a color printer and printed the colored ones and hung them up. So I know what you're thinking. Now I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking it's a lot. It's a bunch. Most of your pictures are a bunch of Sonic girls and all that. Well, you know what? I know I'm not the only one. You can go on YouTube, you can look at all these other Sonic collections out there, and you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see I'm not the only one. And believe me, once I post some of those videos on Facebook, and my family gets a look at them, I think they might be changing their minds as to who's crazy and who's not. You know, but again, these are just a bunch of pictures that I have, that I printed out, so. It's just a bunch of, again, bunch of pictures, and I hung them up. Like I said, when I lived on my own, I hung them on my wall. You can see I even have a Kayla's fan character. I had that. I had a Savage Beans character hung up. I had a lot of these, just a lot of them hung up. And again, I know people might say, well, you know, I know there's a lot of people that talk and all that, and they think, oh, that's stupid, that's crazy. Well, you know what? How stupid is it if you say, let's say somebody has a lot of Beatles hung up in a room, and you go in there and you think, oh my God, someone's obsessed with the Beatles, or someone's obsessed with Michael Jackson, or someone's obsessed with Elvis, or with The Who, or whatever. What would you say then? What would you say then, huh? You know, that's what exactly. You wouldn't be able to say anything. You wouldn't be able to say anything. But again, these are just a bunch of pictures that I have. Just a bunch of pictures that I have. So, and I hung most of them up. Yeah, I tacked most of them up in my room. I am not going to deny that. I'm not denying that. I tacked most of them up in my room when I lived on my own. And again, like I said, I may not be able to do that here, but you know what? I got them in a folder now, so that one day if I ever do move back out on my own and I get my own place, well, guess what? Whether my family visits me or not, comes over there a lot or not, I'm going to have these hung up in my room. And I know people might say that's a little crazy, that's a little retarded. Well, you know what? It's my room, it's my apartment, it's my house. I can do what I want with it. And that's why, that's why I did what I did when I lived on my own. But again, these are just mostly all pictures, mostly monk art, Tavin monk art pictures that he drew. Some of them that I requested, some of them I didn't. But again, this is just part of some of the pictures that I hung up. Again, most of them are just Tavin monk art. Some of them also like the little screen grabs. Of course, here and there. So yeah, it's mostly all the pictures. So oh yeah, we do have some Sonic ones back here. We do have some Sonic ones back here if I can get to them. Yeah, here we go. See, I do have a lot more Sonic pictures and all that, so. But like I said, this is just, a section of some of the pictures that I had, and, again, I tacked a lot of these on my walls. Some of them I framed. In fact, you can go on my Facebook page and you can see, I think there's a picture I posted up a long time ago of something that if you look in the background, you can see what pictures I had framed. So, but yeah, this is just a lot of pictures and all that. So, and again, I know my family's going to probably be watching this, and my nephew's going to probably be watching it and thinking, what the, heck was he thinking? You know what? Like I said, it was my apartment. I hung up what I wanted. I did what I wanted, so, so be it. That's what I did. And again, I know that, again, like I said, if you were to walk into somebody's house or apartment and they had a room totally dedicated to other things, like, say, Transformers, or G.I. Joes, or Beatles, or Elvis, or Michael Jackson, or whatever, what would you say then? Huh? Would you call them obsessive? Would you call them crazy? Probably not. But you know what? That was my decision. It's always been my decision. It always has been my decision. It's my decision. It always has been my decision. Always will be my decision. That's the thing. Some people may say, oh, you're nuts, you're crazy. Well, you know what? If I'm nuts, I'm nuts. I'm nuttier. I'm nuts. Hey, I'm nuttier, the better. If I'm crazy, I'm crazier, the better. You know what? It was my decision. And I'll tell you honestly, if I could, but out of respect for the fact that I live here with my mother and all that, if I could, I would put them up on these walls, maybe a few pictures, but I won't, out of respect. But yeah, that's just most of the fan pictures and screen grabs that I printed over the years that are not just Sonic related, but are also other related. I have some posters as well, but I'm not going to dig those out. I have a Sonic Adventure 2 battle poster, which is like a big old poster, and I have a Japanese Sonic X poster of when Sonic X first premiered, so, and a few small posters of Sonic Advance. Now in here, of course, I have some things like here, if I can get them out. I actually have Sonic, a big old Sonic plush. This guy I got at the Apricot Fiesta. You know how sometimes those fairs or fiestas or something like that come to your town and they have those booths where you can, those little booths, the little shopping areas where you can buy stuff, normally where you have to go online. I got this guy there, and when I got it, I figured it would complement this one just as well, which is my Sally plush. Now I know a lot of people are always asking themselves, okay, how much did you pay for this? How much did you pay for that? Well, let me explain something. This Sally plush cost me just about $250 something, believe it or not, because I got it straight from Australia through eBay. I actually went on eBay and I focused my money that I had at the time, enough of it, to get this one, because these are rare. So I got her. There's no doubt about it. I got her, and when I got him, I figured it would complement her very well. And then down here, of course, we have, if I can drag it out, part of my Sonic collection, my comic book collection, believe it or not. I have a lot of comic books, and unlike some people, I don't have them hung up on my walls. And believe me, if I would have done that, I would have done that a long time ago, but I don't have them hung up on my walls. But I have just about every super special, if you will, not the one with the kids, but when they were kids, but just about every one. I have the Sonic Live one that Linkara reviewed recently, which is right here. I have all the Princess Sally miniseries issues, all 3 of them, as you could see. I have the one where she guest stars with Knuckles, and when Knuckles had a comic. I have all the Endgame issues, So, yeah, see, all the Endgame issues, including the director's cut. I have all 3 Tail miniseries right here, all 3 Tail miniseries, and just some other issues as well. I even have the Image crossover with Sonic and Company. I think it's in here somewhere. Yeah, it's right here, the Image crossover. Oops. One of them is falling apart. But right here is the Image crossover. Then of course I have some other comics right here. I'm sorry about the light, but I have some other comics right here as well as some other pictures. This one, these are actually some of them that I had framed. These are actually some of them that I did frame. These pictures right here, like that one and that one and that one and that one. These are actually the ones I had framed, some of them. And then of course, like I said, the rest of my subscript issues, including the one we all like, one of the best ones we like. So I have those. And then here, let me move that out of the way for a second. I have the granddaddy of them all. These are my archives that I have right now. So far I have, I think, 1 through 7. That's what I have, 1 through 7. Well, actually 1 through 8 I should say. I actually have 1 through 8. 1 through 8 I have. I have the very first Sonic Zero. I actually got this at Half Price Bookstore in Lawrence, along with this one. I just went in there one day and I just continued looking, and one day I found them. So, there you go. And then of course I have all my comic subscriptions up to recently, and I mean a lot of them, and I'll be back in a second.